Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the Hiya Toys Judge Dredd Exquisite Mini KLEGG Mercenary. I'm pretty sure that that's just a typo where it says mercenaries. I think it's supposed to say mercenaries, but also it's just a singular, so mercenary, and that's how it's listed at most places, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But this is some kind of crocodile, alligator, I think it's a crocodile, from Judge Dredd. I don't know much about it. I don't collect this scale. They send them to me to review them because you guys seem to be interested and they like my reviews, I guess. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to review it. It's 25 bucks. So that's pretty low price for as much paint and everything that you get here. So that's kind of cool. We'll make some comparisons in a minute. But it's a unique looking character, so I thought it'd be fun to review. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. It is a smaller scale figure. He stands only, we'll go to the top of the backpack just so that you have an idea, about 12 centimeters. That's at the highest point. That's going to be just shy of 5 inches, like 4 7/8, something like that. And just for comparison here, he is up against Darwin. And he's also, I believe Darwin was at the $26 price point, and he is 25 bucks, so that should give you some comparison in terms of what you're getting for your money. Way more plastic here, infinitely more paint, and all new parts. And this guy definitely was $26. I just got him and just reviewed him. Terrible, terrible figure with tons of reused parts, and it costs $1 more than this one, so there's that to consider. Alright, so I don't have a question of the day because I don't know anything about the character. So I guess the question of the day is, if you want to explain what the heck is going on here, it's some kind of crocodile man in a spacesuit, you can do that. You can let me know. Alright, so aesthetically speaking, lots of paintwork, and it looks good. Look at the shading throughout the suit. Very nice. The darker blue on the lighter blue looks good. The metallic, this kind of like coppery color, has lots of shading throughout. It's got the orangey coloring and then the lighter coloring. Very nicely done. All the detail work is painted. The silver clasps or whatever, buckles, whatever you want to call that. These thrusters back here look incredibly good. They did a really good job on that. Very nicely done, even shading up on the red parts. Detail work is super clean. The crocodile parts, lots of paint on there too. Hiya does not spend, or does spend plenty of effort making their figures look really, really nice. And look how nice those teeth line up on that jaw that articulates. It's really, really good. Everything on this looks awesome, and it's all new sculpt. The hands have detail on them. The boots have shading on them. This costs $1 less than this. It's just nuts to me. I don't get it. Aesthetically speaking, this thing gets a 9.5 out of 10. It's about as good as you could get. A little more consistency, just like around the shoulders where it's really bright blue. Something like that. A little bit cleaner around here, yeah, but it's really good. For the price point, it's really, really good. As far as accessories go, you get the 2 loose hands that come on them in the package. Then you get 2 gripping hands, one that kind of holds the gun. So you do get a gun. A little bit of dry brushing on there brings it to life, nothing crazy. And then you get a little display stand with some like skulls and stuff in the dirt, and some little clips to hold that display stand to another one if you have more than one. So that's it, nothing crazy as far as accessories. I think that's fine for the price point. I'll go 8 out of 10. It's pretty good. The display stand's not really my thing, but it's alright. Alright, now as far as articulation goes, obviously he's not going to have the most given his shape, but he does have a decent amount. The head is on a ball peg, so it can move around relatively well, again, considering the sculpt. As I mentioned, his jaw does open very nicely. The teeth are incredibly well done. I think this probably shouldn't be green in there under the tongue, but I don't know for sure. Maybe that's just how it is in Judge Dredd. But either way, very nicely done there. Shoulders are standard ball hinge type shoulders, so they get up to just about horizontal. And then of course your rotation is going to be pretty limited due to the sculpt. Not a great thing, don't love that. There's also no bicep swivel, so he does have a lot of limitation there. The double jointed elbow joint is pretty nice. He gets decent enough range out of that, I guess. Yeah, it's better than 90, so I'll take that. But again, no shoulder range really, and then no bicep swivel is going to hinder posability. Ball pegs in the wrists actually work really nicely, so that's cool. There's at least a single ball peg back here, so he can lean back a little bit, and then he can't really do much else. It rotates a little bit, leans a little bit, but not a whole lot. Very, very limited. They probably didn't even need to bother with that. We have hinged ball pegs for the hips. I wish they would stop doing that, but at least they look fine when they're in the neutral. You can't even tell, so that's good. And then when you bring them down, I guess it helps to pose some, but it's not really useful. So again, I wish they would just stop wasting their budget on that. It definitely helps give him some range, but not in any real useful way. So not my cup of tea. It's not like floppy or anything, so it's not horrible, but it just doesn't really add much. But he can get splits done pretty well, so that's okay. And there is a thigh swivel, but bring the legs forward, there's just no room for them to go anywhere because of his belly and that strap. So kind of a bummer there. Not a whole lot they could have done, but it is not great. Apparently that came unglued. Or maybe, are they glued? Yeah, it just came unglued. Double jointed knees. Actually pretty good range, surprisingly. Not that you're going to need to use them or be able to use them because of the hips, but you do get decent range out of the knees. And then the ankles are just your standard ball pegs, which will give you decent enough range, but nothing crazy. Just enough to get him into whatever pose you're getting him into and get his feet flat on the surface. So yeah, the articulation's not impressive. It's good enough, I guess, but you're not going to be doing a whole lot, especially with his gun. Like, you can't have him hold his gun with both hands. It's just going to kind of sit there in the one hand. You'll see in the photos at the end. It's not impressive articulation by any means. I'll give it a 4 out of 10. How much you can excuse that is up to you. I think it's somewhat excusable given the character design, but no bicep swivel hurts it a lot. The hips not having good range hurts it a lot. So it's not going to have the most range, but it is going to look good on a shelf. If one of these pops off for you, you can just glue it back on. So I'm not going to count that as a big deal. Every company has those kind of issues here and there. So I'll give it an overall rating of, for the price point, it looks really good, decent enough accessories, but really, really limited posability. I'm only going to go 7. I would like to go 8, and I could, I guess, because of the sculpt and paint, but it's really limited in posability. And not reasonably so for in some places anyway. So yeah, I'll stick with a 7, but you could argue 8 if you wanted to. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. In the meantime, keep collecting.